So hi, welcome to After the Hype. Here as always, Brian Dressel. With me as always is Jonathan Hardesty.
Oh, my ears.
Deal with it. My wife recently called me out on how much I've been saying deal with it lately. And I said deal with it.
That story went how I expected it to.
I actually didn't. I was very caught off guard. I'm like, have I really been saying it that much? Then yeah, no, you have. I'm like, oh wow. I used to say we'll play it by ear all the time, and now it's apparently deal with it. I just have phrases that just kind of keep going through my head.
It's the deal with it era.
It's the deal with it era.
Indeed.
It's kind of what we have to do, isn't it? Go back 2 episodes when I was very emotional. I guess I'm dealing with it now. Just got to deal with it. We got Joel and Kelly back. Thank you guys for coming back.
Yeah, we're dealing with it.
Oh, yeah. Every day.
We very nearly had Brock on this week, and then just timing didn't work out. I'm not exactly sure what happened. I wasn't fully paying attention to that conversation. Sorry, Brock. It's been a busy week at work for me, so I apologize. But as of today, I worked 5 days this week. I hit 62 hours. I've been busy, so I did the best I could. I even had to reschedule this very podcast to tonight because I was too busy the other night. So, but we made it work.
Yep.
This is the most consistent we've recorded After the Hype in 3 years. So I'm feeling pretty good about that, at least.
Still a pretty good ratio. I think we can deal with it.
I was trying to let that go. That's going to come out organically at some point. I know it is. But speaking of things to deal with, I really enjoyed doing the warm-up last week. I thought that was fun. We got slammed by YouTube for it. They didn't like us doing it. However, as I said earlier with the thing with Brock, it's very true for the YouTube emails as well. John read it. I didn't. Apparently, the people who own the copyright was like, hey, we acknowledge that you did that. Do whatever you want.
Yeah. They'll take no action at this time. It's like, oh, cool. I guess.
What action are we going to take? Take it down? All right, fine.
That only comes from a person that enjoys doing that. Sending the notice and just saying, yeah, we acknowledge you.
Yeah. It's very Avatar, I see you.
Yeah, I see you.
But this week we're going to do another warm-up. This one's a little different. This one might be a little bit more familiar to some. I have not listened to more than 7 seconds of it, and that's right when I said, I'm going to do the warm-up, and I started listening, this is pretty funny. We're going to see if you guys agree, and if it takes a turn, I'll turn it off. I don't know where this is going. We're going on this journey together, which I'm sure everyone's very excited for.
Content guidelines. Ooh.
Who knows what this is? Here we go. Okay. It's called... This could be great. It might not be. Oh, let's get it back to the beginning. Here we go. We'll listen a minute.
It's going to be great.
It'll be a thing. Everybody hearing it?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah. This is for those of you who are only listening, I'm not sure exactly how we're doing that right now, but this is Oh Holy Night, worst rendition ever, is what the oh. This is where I made it this far before. I'm like, this is our warm up.
Wow.
So I'm just going to talk over this for a second. So this week at After the Hype, we're going to do unconventional Christmas movies. And the best way to do that, or holiday films, however you choose to celebrate the holidays of December, I figured the best way to do that was with this. Just trying to talk over, it's very difficult.
This is 3.5 minutes long.
Well, I'm not surprised. I mean, my God.
He's taking his time.
Yeah.
He's basking in the glory.
Recently on the Facebook chat we have for Binge Buddies, we were talking about music we listen to, and I mentioned that I only listen to music that makes me laugh. This is gonna hit heavy rotation.
Yep. Oh God.
Have we all heard enough? Or do we feel properly warmed?
Bring it. Bring it.
Hold on,
Yeah,
wait.
yep. Oh.
All right, here. I'll do a kind fade out. There we go.
That was rough.
Oh boy.
Oh,
Everyone feel warmed up?
Feel something.
Yeah, do it.
right out of my mouth.
Whoa.
Oh, yep.
Joel, do we need to start doing warm ups over on Binge Buddies? Do you think the gang would appreciate it over there?
Maybe strategically.
Strategic warm ups.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
That sounds very like jazzercise of you.
In the middle of the episode.
You gotta catch them off guard.
Yeah. So like halfway through any recording, you're just like, okay, guys,
Warm up.
with this thought. Warm up.
Surprise! Oh, night divine.
I need to get that as our outro.
Of them doing it or me?
Card for that.
So I'm fine with
Both.
Ryan's just gonna have a meter, and when it shows that we're being too flat, that he's just gonna hit a button.
Yeah.
A clip.
Pick it up, motherfuckers.
All on their knees.
It's gonna be great. It's all good stuff. But if you couldn't hear me over that horrible singing, the point of today is we thought it'd be fun to do after the hype, unconventional. I said Christmas movies because I was born and raised Christian, so we do Christmas stuff. I'm wearing my Christmas sweater right now. It's all Batman themed. But holiday movies, whatever you have, something that, when the holidays hit, there's usually a film that you like to watch. So you kind of get in that mood. I'm looking for the one that people go, you watch what? Because everyone's got one. At least I think everyone's got one. Most people I talk to have at least one film like, oh yeah, I watched this over the holidays. I'm like, I guess. I had two. I'm going to talk about both of them. I have a clip from one of them. I know John had one, and I think... am I the one who had two?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Sorry.
Sorry, or you don't apologize for it. You just say deal with it.
No, I'm not saying it anymore. I'm consciously not saying it. Deal with it.
Oh, sorry.
Did something horrible just happen over the DeWitts?
Yeah.
Couldn't handle the deal with it.
Yeah.
Ripped your headphone out?
There was a control.
Not dealing with shit.
Right now.
It's good stuff. So I guess I'll go first and last. I'll boomerang it around, and we'll start with me and end with me, and that's that makes me the most important person here, and I love it. It's great.
That's why we have a podcast.
Yeah. Although I will throw it out there, as I've done before, technically all of this is some guy named Nick's fault. He's the one who called me up and said, hey, do you want to do a podcast? And now he's fucking in Sweden, do whatever the hell he wants, and I'm still doing this shit. Thanks, Nick. And sincerely, thank you, Nick. It's been a lot of fun. We'll hit you with both. All right, so here we go. Unconventional holiday films. Films that you watch around the holidays that make you feel Christmassy. Your own version of Christmassy. And I'm going to start mine. Batman Returns? Anyone? 1992 film. Thank you, John. It takes place at Christmas. That was all I really needed as a kid. Holiday stuff. There's always snow. Batman's murking people throughout the snow, which is fun. But there's just something about it. Like, I remember seeing it as a kid and going, like, this is a weird Christmas movie. And it's always kind of stuck in my head as this is a weird Christmas movie ever since. Like, it always kind of messed with me too much. Like, I really never liked the ending because it's very, like, not violent, but, like, gross violent. Like, there's a lot of, like, black goo coming out, like, Penguin's mouth.
Yeah.
When Christopher Walken gets killed, like, his skeleton thing just looks kind of horrifying. There's a lot of stuff that kind of made me uncomfortable when it came to Batman Returns, but it took place at Christmas, and I loved Christmas, so I kept watching it because I like Batman, and it was easier to watch than the original film Batman. Like, Joker just scared the absolute shit out of me as a child, so I could not watch too much of that.
Yeah, we rewatched that recently, like a year or so ago, to introduce the kids to it. And as I'm watching this, I'm just like, oh, maybe this was a little too much for the kids.
It's intense, man. Like it's
Yeah.
The Joker doesn't mess around. Like he's not Heath Ledger. He's not jamming pencils in people's ears, but or eyes or whatever it was. But it's still it's a tough film.
It's
there was a reprieve when the Prince song came on though, because then the kids
Yeah,
were like,
of course.
Huh?
and the parade's great.
Yep.
Mm.
do.
But there is something, and I would credit, like this sweater I'm wearing, everything that in my life that's been very Batman-y, like Batman, I'm wearing, I think, my Superman necklace is on right now. Like a lot of my DC love comes from me being obsessed with this movie, partly because it is so violent and so raw, and Michelle Pfeiffer made me feel very funny as a child, and I didn't know why.
Yup.
Yeah.
Meow.
Yeah. Check out the clip I'm about to play. But there's something that like also felt inherently Christmassy about it. I think it's just the time frame. It feels kind of like a Shane Black movie. I'm like, is this a Christmas movie? Not really, but it takes place at Christmas. Therefore, I want to watch it on Christmas time. And this year I watched it while I was making my pie that I brought to our friends Thanksgiving. So it's still kind of in the holiday film. And when I watched that, when we're talking about this film, originally I was going to talk about, I think, Gremlins. And I'm like, after watching Batman Returns, I kind of want to go back to Batman Returns. And then I have another one I'll talk about at the end of this episode. That one's way less Christmassy than this one, but that's why I'm saving it for last. But here we go. So just give us a little taste of Batman Returns. I have to pull up what I think is one of the best scenes in the entire film.
Oh, there you go.
And we can talk over this. We don't have to, but
this is
we don't have to
this
stay
is
quiet.
an iconic look, though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You're watching this and just like, oh, hold on. Anyone else in the room?
And just the knowledge that she hit all of those in one try, and she actually did it with her own whip. Like that's cool.
Yeah, that's
I did not know that, and that is impressive.
Like there's a behind the scenes shot. You can see of her doing it. She whips every single one of them. But there's also something kind of fun about this movie that's still kind of like Adam Westy a little bit. Like these two cops here feel very Adam West like. Her costume is very like corny in a way, but still far more like adult. Not adult, but adult. You know what I mean?
Still giving you familiar feelings that like Julie Newmar and Eartha Kitt gave you with that Catwoman costume.
Eartha Kitt.
Oh, and then
also just like this gets sillier, like you said.
I will just say aesthetically, the white of the snow is a really good backdrop for a space like Gotham. It's always depicted so dark in the contrast, works really well against that.
I just killed the Senna. There's the meme. Batman just killed that guy. Like that guy is dead. He had a bomb strapped to his belly and is thrown down a hole. Everyone who is freaking about Batman doesn't kill but likes this movie, shush. Sorry, shush.
Where does that come from? The whole Batman doesn't kill.
Technically, it's the comics, but like people got a little too carried away with it. I mean, like when Batman was originally around, like not his first costume, but he used to carry a gun. Like it's not like Batman's always been this like beacon of not killing. So like, it's never bothered me. And anybody watches The Dark Knight or Batman Begins or even Dark Knight Rises, like Batman doesn't kill. I'm like, tell that to all the dead bodies in his wake. Like, you kidding me?
I mean, the only space that I knew that they tried not to was the animated series, but that was also a kid's cartoon. So
also the '60s show, like he was always giving lessons to Robin. I feel like that's where I internalized the not killing part, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, it is a rule. Like, it is Batman's rule, so it is a thing. This thing's still playing. Go away, Danny DeVito.
Shoo, Batman and Penguin.
But yeah, I'm not exactly sure where exactly it came from. I love Batman. I'm a very big Batman fan. I'm okay with Batman trivia. So, like, the exact specifics I'm not the best with. But, like, the whole rule of it, though, never really made sense to me. Like, even, like, classic, like, tried and true Batman stories like Dark Knight, like the Frank Miller's Dark Knight. he's fighting the mutants and like he's firing huge guns at them, and they're like, oh look, rubber bullets. I'm like, come on.
Oh yeah, like in Arkham Knight, where you run over everybody with a tank.
Yeah,
you didn't kill them. You just ran them over unconscious. They're sleeping.
Yeah, they're just super duper unconscious.
They have to have a way to depict urban warfare, but somehow keep it on the up and up. Like yeah.
But that's my recommendation. I didn't take out too much time. I took up a lot of time last time for this one, so I'm trying to keep it trim. Watch Batman Returns. Great Christmas movie-ish thing, but it's still a great movie. It still holds up. Holy shit, does it still hold up. Great Batman movie. In my, I'd say, top 3 favorite Batman movies all time. I'm not sure if it'd be 2 or 3. It's not number 1, but it'd be in my top 3. Absolutely stellar film. Still to this day.
Yeah, it's still fun. And even though, like, when you mentioned it, it took me 1 second to be like, holiday, snow, like, oh yeah, that's right. It does happen. Like, it's one of those ones where you can still kind of say like, no, that movie? Oh yeah, that movie.
Yeah. I mean, he kills Penguin kills the girl who lights the Christmas tree, like throwing her into the Christmas tree. Like, there's Christmas all over this thing. There's a lot of death, but you know, there's a great
monster. Hold my beer.
Yeah, there's sorry McDonald's. There was also a great Super Nintendo game based on that. And Catwoman always smoked me. It was a pain in the butt, but I liked it. It was a good game.
It was hard, but it was good.
Yeah. All right, John. Why don't you take it away with your Christmas, not a Christmas movie? Although I do watch yours around Christmas every year.
Yeah, no, same. So mine is the Fellowship of the Ring, and specifically the extended edition, and maybe less specifically the entire trilogy special edition. This kind of started a couple Black Fridays ago, like 1 or 2, and I thought, you know what, I'm really getting a hankering to watch this, and let's just watch the extended editions 1 in a row, like every day, and it has stuck. This year we did it over 2 days. Fellowship on like Black Friday, and then Saturday we watched the last 2. And
you watched 9 hours of movie on a Saturday?
Yep. Yeah, it was. By the end, we were all exhausted.
That's 9 hours.
Yes,
if not more. That might be 10.
That was always nuts to me at some of the theaters that would do the marathon of all 3. And have like intermissions. People would bring blankets and sleep.
Yeah, those people are nuts. Yeah. I definitely didn't do it.
Yeah, no. And what doesn't help when you watch them in such like close proximity to each other is that you kind of start to follow the exhaustion level of Frodo as you watch. So like you start to wear down as you watch the movie. So then by the end, you're both emotionally drained with Frodo, and you're like, I forgot the taste of food, by the end, and have to be carried back home. But very good. By far out of the 3 of them, my favorite is Fellowship, and that's kind of the one I'm always the most excited to get to when it comes to the holiday time, because it's got the Shire. It's in the extended edition has more of the stuff with Bilbo writing the book. It weaves more things in there, more extended scenes, and just overall just a really great start to something. And it always feels like that's a good way to kick off the holiday season. And the rest are really good. I like Two Towers and Return of the King. And Return of the King has a lot of emotional payoff that I really love, and I can't not cry during it. But Fellowship is what ends up having my heart. And for this video I want to share, I found the very first trailer I ever saw in the theater that was kind of like a promo for this, where they show you like this is coming out this year, this is coming out this year, and here we'll just see it. Let's see if this plays.
There's some timeline where you start this video and it's the taking the hobbits to Isengard meme video.
Yeah,
that's what it would have been if
thought
I
of that.
picked it. 100%. That's what I would have done.
One ring to find them.
And this even has the they hadn't cleared their font yet for the Lord of the Rings official title.
And in the darkness, bind them.
All right, Raider.
There's the ring. But yeah, they show something from almost every movie, even though there's not a whole lot. And
next Christmas.
Oh, I remember seeing this.
Ever told
yeah.
will come
And
to
I'm just
life.
like, I remember seeing that, having just read all the books, and I was like, oh, That's from that book. That's from that moment. So exciting. Like Theoden helping, siring Mary, giving him his assignment. But yeah, old school font. I have the book that has that font for the cover. And then this scene here where they're coming up and it's like, all right, this year it's Fellowship of the Ring, Christmas 2001. Next year it is Two Towers, you know. And I'm just watching this thing like, I'm so excited for the next 3 years.
That font is very 2001.
It is.
Yeah.
Kind of looks a little papyrusy.
Yeah, I mean that in the nicest way possible.
They have this like cheesy tagline at the very end that has like, "You will find adventure, or adventure will find you." And I'm like, okay, this got me. This hooked me in.
I remember getting into like an argument with my buddy. Joel knows this guy, but my buddy Fletcher at the time, because I was very on the Harry Potter train, which these were going at the same time. Like they were like, they're Harry Potter and there's Lord of the Rings. And I'm like, Lord of the Rings, that's for old people. That sucks. We're all about Harry Potter. And my buddy Fletcher was like, you're a moron. And I'm like, nah. And then we saw that trailer. And like I had like a year-ish to like catch up. Not a full year, but I read the book. I'm like, Fletcher's right. I was like, and again, Joel can agree with this. There was nothing worse you could say than Fletcher's right. Like that's just like, oh, fuck, it's just not worth it. Like I'd rather just stick to my guns.
You know,
go down in wrongness instead of admitting.
It's just not
sometimes
worth it,
you just got to swallow the pride a little bit.
I don't think I ever did. I don't, to this day, I don't think Fletcher ever found out I like Lord of the Rings more than Harry Potter. And he doesn't listen to this shit, so he's definitely never going to find out.
But yeah, it's interesting as I was watching this teaser again. Everything kind of came out on Christmas. So I kind of got into that loop. Yeah. And so that's probably why at around this time of the year, I'm like, okay, I got to watch these again. Because, yeah, it's that time of year. It is the Lord of the Rings time of year. So that's kind of why I brought it to the table.
No, I mean, the great films. I don't disagree. So I run for my job, I run like the internal film club for us folks who work in the office. And last year I did a full day. We're going to watch movies all day long. We're going to vote on movies. What movies do we want to watch? I was expecting like Die Hard, which is winning this year again. I was expecting like Home Alone, maybe like Muppets Christmas Carol, but like that's the sort of thing I was expecting. What won by flying colors was Fellowship of the Ring. Like just absolutely crushed. This year, nobody thought about it. I'm like, I don't really want to watch it again because it takes up when we do Fellowship, it's 4 hours long. I can only play 2 movies then. So we did Die Hard and Fellowship. It's like, I'd like to play more movies. Like, let's keep it going. Otherwise, I'd be like, yeah, let's just do the whole thing. But I'm not.
I think you even invited me. I think you even invited me.
I did, yeah.
And I was super busy with work that day, and I was just sitting there at work, just like,
I could be watching Lord of the Rings. God damn it.
Not that I don't have it and couldn't just watch it, but still, the invitation, the thought that other people, I could watch it communally was like, I was pissed.
and I've said it before, and I'm going to say it a million times. If you know where I work, you know kind of like crazy to say this, the best way to watch any film is in a theater. Preferably in a packed crowd that actually wants to be there, not like a bunch of, I don't want to just go hard against like Zoomers, but that's who I just watched Gladiator 2 with. And every single person in that theater watched it like this. And I'm like, what are you, do you want to watch the movie? I agree. It sucks. I wish I would take my phone out too, but still we're here. Watch the shitty movie.
That's how we watch the movie at home. Here we watch the actual screen.
Like, this is IMAX in Burbank. I know how much it cost to be in here. It wasn't cheap. Watch the bad movie. By the way, Gladiator 2 sucks. Don't listen to the somewhat okay reviews. It's not somewhat okay. It sucks. I'm very mad at that shitty movie. How dare it be shitty? I was expecting something good. Let's talk about something good. Joel, your holiday movie's pretty good.
My holiday movie also isn't that big of a stretch from normal holiday movies, but I usually end up getting to Planes, Trains, and Automobiles closer to Christmas. A few reasons. Number one, we're usually busy during the holiday weekend with all sorts of festivities, and then have a mountain of decorations to put up and prepare for the holidays, all that kind of fun stuff. But we start doing our marathon of Christmas movies, and this ends up in the rotation slot in on a wait, we have a gap. So Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, John Candy, Steve Martin, John Hughes, directed by. That's just recipe for success right there. You know, just alone, Steve Martin has proven time and time again what kind of comedic talent he is. John Candy,
a legend.
Let out some great work between something like Home Alone and then this, which is still very comedic, but also very adult and very serious and having high stakes and danger and such. So main thrust of the story is that they encounter each other, I believe, when there is some issues with the weather that keeps them from getting where they meant to go on the plane. So then they end up
they have to land and then they go
but the thrust of the story ends up with
do
them
they take
being
planes, trains, and automobiles?
And then automobiles. So it actually goes
most of an automobile. It is kind of a melty mess, but they do take an automobile.
They make it work. They make it work.
But beyond the actual, physical piece about it, it's also just how these two keep on ending up stuck together. And forced to contend with the sort of odd couple situation. Him being very Steve Martin being sort of like very stuffy and reserved, and then John Candy being this big teddy bear that is well intentioned but bumbling and causes trouble. And they both play their roles really well. Steve Martin is maybe I haven't seen enough of his work, but I never really envisioned him too much of being like an asshole.
No.
So he did that. Oh, you've got stories, huh?
Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. If you have not seen Dirty Rotten Scoundrels, you are missing out. That is an absolute must. He's an asshole in that thing, and so unbelievably funny. One of my favorite movies of all time.
Okay.
That guy I mentioned earlier, Nick, he's the one who made me watch it. He was right. That phenomenal.
All right, it goes to show you, it's because I don't watch enough movies. But
you've never seen The Jerk?
Yes, we have.
Okay. He's not an asshole in that, but
no, he's not an asshole. He's just a jackass.
Yeah.
There's a distinction.
There's a very, very big distinction there.
Yeah, but
weirdly enough, for this movie, the thing that kind of sticks with me anytime it's brought up is just how heartfelt it is too. Which it's not the immediate thought when you think of it, because you're thinking of all the fun bits and the fun moments. But then I sit there
like the clip we have queued.
Yes, indeed. But yeah.
All right, cool. I'm gonna play the clip. So Joel, do you want to set this up? You're the one who picked it, but you gave me two, and I immediately went that one.
So Steve Martin's character is trying to find his way out. He ends up sort of stranded back at the car lot and has to claw his way back to the counter. And he is making sure they understand that they need to provide him a new vehicle.
Oh,
well, he pisses off the wrong person.
The wrong person who is always great at every role.
I know. Oh my God, she's always in this role. It's amazing.
Always perfect. All right, here we
Her
go.
voice.
Oh, Jean Marie, you're a stitch.
You're a stitch.
No, Mom's gonna do this
He's just so done.
Yeah,
Like he's cooked, man. He's.
Yeah, you're right.
I love his face. I love his face in this.
No, I can't cook.
The pure disdain.
I hate everything about this. Every single thing
Well,
I
I'll see you
hate.
tomorrow then. Gobble, gobble.
Gobble gobble.
And she takes the time.
Yeah, she really does.
Man. And then just she knows. She knows.
The setter's
Welcome
reset.
to Marathon. May I help you?
Yes.
How may I help you?
And like my favorite thing about this is
Start by wiping that fucking dumbass smile off your rosy fucking cheeks. Then you can give me a fucking automobile, a fucking Datsun, a fucking Toyota, a fucking Mustang,
But this is what I mean, though, in that like this, there's a lot of opportunity for him in this movie to get angry, right, and express himself.
Really
But
don't care for the way
the-
your
the-
company left me
the
in the
string
middle of
of
fucking nowhere with
F-bombs.
fucking keys.
Oh
to
my
fucking
God.
car
Within a
that isn't
30-second
fucking
clip,
there.
it's almost
And I
jarring.
really didn't care
you
to
know?
fucking
well,
walk
the
down
rest of the
fucking
movie
highway
doesn't really have
to
language
fucking
like this.
Runway.
And it's Steve Martin, who you always look at as like kind of a straight-laced guy, and then he lets this out.
I want
It's
a
like-
fucking car right fucking now.
Oh man.
I bet he had fun.
May I
doing
see
that.
your rental agreement?
Do it away.
Oh.
Boy,
Oh boy.
Oh, boy.
What?
you're fucked.
Oh.
Oh, such a great moment.
That-
No,
And also
but-
why I can't show this to the kiddos for a little while.
Oh,
yet
I
still.
know.
Yeah.
It goes
Yeah.
back to that, what I was going to say. John mentioned about the heartwarming and heartfelt stuff. It is actually, to me, thinking just a little while ago about it, how it's like almost a love story that is unconventional. It is not so traditional. He and she falls in love. It's about two people who come to love and appreciate each other. And I think that's a big part of what makes it so successful. It really is a beautiful movie.
Yeah, they do end up sort of having a brotherhood. But
Yeah.
Have you ever read Born Standing Up?
No.
It's a autobiographical tale from Stephen Martin, and it is fascinating. It just goes into a lot of like his career, mostly about his stand-up career. But he talks about like John Candy, Dan Aykroyd, what it was like meeting these folks and like working with them. And it's, if you like Steve Martin even a little bit, owe it to yourself to read that book. It's a good read. It's a good audiobook because he reads it himself. Like that is just, it's very, very like, it's not like dying laughing funny, but it's very funny and just kind of like enjoyable. Especially because you see him like when he talks about working with Dan Aykroyd and how just wildly different they are just as people, but they still have this like beautiful chemistry together and just like how good he is at doing that sort of thing. So I love it. I just realized that John and I are queuing up the same thing, which I guess means it's almost Kelly's time to talk.
Yeah.
I figured I would cue it up just to be helpful, to be a helpful fella.
No, I appreciate it.
Producer seat.
I'm looking forward to this.
Oh, okay.
All right, so
well,
Unconventional, you picked one that actually has Christmas in the title. So
it's actually a Christmas movie, and of course, it was based in Canada. You don't really know too many of the actors, if any. I don't know if there are any really big names in it, like at all, but there are a few. But anyway, they're mostly Canadian actors, and so you don't really.
There's an actor that ended up on the show Letterkenny. That's about
that's
extent
right.
that I got.
Yeah,
Okay.
Stuart.
Yeah.
Stuart's in it. Yes,
Yeah.
so he's in it, and it is a very strange Christmas movie. It's about this lonely girl.
What's the name of the movie?
No.
What's the name of
Okay.
it?
Grumpy Cat's Worst Christmas Ever. I mean, how can this not be wonderful, right? Okay,
celebrating
so-
a 10th year anniversary.
Yes, it is in honor of poor Grumpy Cat, who is now deceased. But
Yeah, where's the 4K release?
what?
They're not going to make it for only Kelly.
The what?
The
They
4K
should.
extended edition that you watch every Christmas.
I need that 4-hour cut of Grumpy Cat.
Oh my
The
god!
funniest thing.
More Aubrey Plaza.
Oh, that Aubrey Plaza! Oh my god, she was the voice. Okay, she's the one. She's the big name. Yes.
But we have an intimate knowledge with the movie
Yes.
because we have a copy on DVD.
Yes.
They ended up with it on Disney Plus.
Yes.
I pulled it up on Disney Plus. Just why should I bother taking out the disc to watch it?
Oh my
And
god.
they changed the intro song, so we had the
We
switch
stopped it
back
and
to
we
the
had
DVD
to put in the
because it
DVD
didn't feel
because
right.
it did not have "I Want a Hippopotamus for Christmas" like it should have.
You're right.
It was not okay. So we had to stop and
Not
change.
okay.
So this is how important this movie is to us. James and I have a very close relationship with it. So it's about this lonely little girl who she has a new school. And so she's kind of finding it hard finding friends, making friends and all of that. So she makes this wish with this coin and wishes for a friend who will be there for her and all of that. And then all of a sudden
She gets a
goes
cat?
She gets that cat.
she goes back to
Bullshit wish.
A genie sucks.
Yeah, she was kind of bummed too at first when she heard the cat talking. But so
Just
she
like-
goes back to the pet shop, and all of a sudden she can hear the cat talking to her, and then it's this whole thing, and somewhere along the line you find out that the the mall cop is in cahoots with two ridiculous like burglars. It's sort of like a Home Alone situation, and so they're trying to rob the mall and buy and steal this very expensive $1 million dog in order to, go off and fly off and become world famous and all of that. And so it's up to Grumpy and the little girl to save the day, and it's just absolutely epically wonderful. You can't go wrong with this movie.
I feel like you can, but let's see.
This is a Lifetime movie.
I meant to bring that up. It is in fact
that puts it into so much more perspective.
Now I am somebody who has worked on Lifetime Christmas movies. My wife has production designed quite a few Lifetime Christmas movies. We're not proud of this. It's just things that have happened. They are not the highest quality is what I'll say.
No. And they break the fourth wall at every 5 seconds. I mean,
why wouldn't you? It's Grumpy Cat.
Breaking the fourth wall. Of course. I mean, you have to, but it is.
If you're making the Grumpy Cat movie, fuck it. Do whatever you want.
It's it's good junk food.
Grumpy Cat's the Deadpool of Lifetime.
Wait, what's wrong with Deadpool?
Nothing's wrong with Deadpool. I'm saying that there's a comparison there.
Let's play the clip.
Yeah.
Let's go for it.
The Deadpool of Lifetime movies. I don't know who you're insulting more.
I don't know what.
Oh.
All right, so
That's like calling Deep Blue Sea the Jurassic Park of
shark movies?
Yeah. Anyway,
I actually like Deep Blue Sea. I'm just gonna come out and say it. It's not a great movie. I get it. It's pretty terrible, but I've watched it more times than I can count, and I enjoy it every time.
Yeah,
I'm not ashamed of it.
I'm watching this on USA on Saturday afternoon.
Oh, of course.
Come here, kitty. Nab him, yo.
I'm out of here.
Oh my god. Why are they so fashionable?
The hipsterest of criminals.
Yes, they are going to be the world's biggest rock stars.
Oh my god.
So,
and that is actually Grumpy Cat.
That is actually Grumpy Cat.
Actually
The Grumpy Cat herself.
British Grumpy Cat.
Oh my
And the
god.
line reading.
Sweetest cat ever.
This line reading is just something else.
Drop departments, dude.
If Aubrey Plaza did more than one take on any line, I will eat this hat.
I believe it.
Dude, if we can get through Stairway to Heaven without any mess-ups, then we can do anything.
Seems still going.
It is. Shoot the legs. The legs, Johnny.
They're basically the two robbers.
Oh, ads.
Whoa.
Kind of thing.
Yep. Yep.
I got lulled in by the
bumbling robbers, the bumbling thieves. Yeah.
The bumbling, very fashionable thieves in their
Very,
scarves,
very
and their
fashionable
jackets.
thieves.
But there's a ringleader, and he's Paul Blart.
Essentially,
Just a mall
yes,
cop.
he's a mall cop.
Oh, I was like, they got Kevin James?
Not actually Kevin James.
Don't quite have that budget.
I mean,
Not quite that budget. Not quite at that budget, man. Come on.
what budget do you need for Kevin James?
Yeah, no, right.
Well, the kind of budget that gives you more than one take for the cat.
Okay, so I'm like, we got that Kevin James money.
They do joke about the horrible Christmas movie and all of the cheap props and how they don't have enough budget money to do this, and that. So it's really it makes fun of itself, but it really has to. So it's just stupid and it's fun and I don't know.
Everyone knew what they were making.
Well, everybody.
I do have one
Again,
question.
like I said, I've been on set for those things. Everyone knows what they're making.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
What's the deal with the dog? The dog
the
that
dog?
was leaving, he sounded kind of like hey guys, I'm gonna go away. Like, what's the deal?
He is the pompous,
Like a faux Nick Cage
arrogant-
thing going on?
Yeah, so he's the arrogant because he's like this supermodel dog, and so he's worth $1 million. The shop owner is going to sell him for $1 million because that's what he's worth. He is like this purebred everything dog. So he's
Pure
going to
Wonder
sell
Bread.
him to save his own store because it's in danger of closing. So this is where the dog comes in. And so, yep. That's where we're at with this.
You know what? I'll say this much. It sounds better than Gladiator 2.
Hey, it's got to be more fun. I mean, come on.
Maybe they should
Most
have done
things
like
are.
one take line readings in Gladiator 2.
Or just put Grumpy Cat in Gladiator 2. I would have had more fun with it.
Anyway,
Like Deadpool.
They're filling the Coliseum with water. Oh, wow.
And they were still
Sharks.
That's
Ooh.
Let's take it off the pause. Sorry, Joel. You're not getting any lines.
That's okay.
No. Try again. We'll be quiet this time.
Okay. See, now the moment's gone. I'm
oh,
not-
Yeah.
go.
yeah.
I was going to step on it again, if I'm being honest. So,
Yeah. Nah, I just gotta preempt it a little bit.
kind of what I do. All right, well, thank you for bringing Grumpy Cat's worst Christmas ever to get it right.
Yep, that is correct.
Okay, cool. Yeah,
Definitely
thanks for bringing that to the
unconventional.
table. Super unconventional. I will not be watching that one.
I'm not surprised, nor do I blame you, but yeah.
But then again, I've already watched My Santa, which is another Lifetime Christmas movie. But I had to show Corin that one because I'm like, look, your mom's name is in the opening title card. She got her own title card on this one, so that was kind of cool.
Nice.
Yeah,
You hadn't seen that
nice.
before. Yeah, and then the end of the movie, this guy's in it.
That's
I'm an
pretty
extra in the
awesome.
back, and the camera pushes right in on me. There I am, looking very sweaty at the end of a 16-hour day, going, why the fuck am I in this shot?
And why
There
are
I
you
am.
zooming in?
Because the camera crews knew I didn't want to be there, and they just punch right in on me.
God.
Now I
Fun
have to
side
see
note, if the guy standing next to me is Burt Reynolds' adopted son. He was a super
Wow.
cool dude. Super nice. He was
That's
also on set.
awesome.
There's your fun trivia for a movie you'll never watch.
And-
Nor
and
should
you're-
you.
And you're the one that got the big break.
Yeah, I got the big
Oh,
break, man. I went
There
straight from there.
is one small, Grumpy Cat and Joseph have the exact same birthday, April 4th, 2012. So that brings me a little closer to Grumpy Cat. So
Well, that's trivia.
so it brings Grumpy Cat a little closer to me.
I understand that. All right. Well, we're going to wrap this unconventional Christmas holiday episode up with something that's extremely unconventional, not a Christmas movie at all. But for the past, I will say 6, maybe 7 years. Yes, 7, because the first time we watched it was when my wife was pregnant. My son's 6, so yeah, about 7 years. The Thing is what I'm going with. Not holiday related at all. The only thing slightly holiday about it is that a guy who will later play Santa in the Santa Claus Chronicles is the lead in it, and there's a lot of snow. That's it. But there is
There you
something
go, the connective tissue.
there that's connected. Now it's a holiday film. No, there is something about it. When you go home for the holidays, or if you're at home for the holidays, you have people come visiting. You're always in a little tight room, and you eventually start arguing with each other. You don't trust each other. You kind of want to kill each other or just light each other on fire. And The Thing.
That's a common family game. You get together and you're just like, one of us isn't real. Who could it be?
It's always
Now for
me.
some turkey.
Yeah, who wants turkey? Who wants ham? Let me test your blood. There is something about The Thing that has always slightly pushed me away from it. I don't know why the two movies I bring to the table are ones that kind of like, I don't really like this. I'm just going to keep diving in until I start to like it. The Thing, I know what it is, though. Batman Returns, I think I was just too young when I saw it because I was very, very young, but it was Batman, so I wasn't going to miss it. The Thing, though, I can pretty much nail it, and it's the practical effects. And they hold up so well that it makes it hard for me to watch. Even to this day, the chest popping open and slamming shut in the dude's arms, I think is one of the grossest scenes in any film ever. And it makes my stomach turn when it happens. As soon as it's like the sound and all of it, some of the most like visceral reactions I've had to a film. And I mentioned before we started recording, I was almost going to bring Terrifier 3 to this thing. I sat through Terrifier 3 easier than I did The Thing. All of that aside, the thing is, it has one of the tightest scripts ever. It's probably one of the best remakes of all time, if not the best remake of all time. One of my absolute favorite. How the hell I'm looking right at Kurt Russell. One of my absolute favorite. I was about to say Wyatt Russell. I'm like, nope, that's
Santa?
the son. One of my absolute favorite Kurt Russell performances out of his entire career, outside of Big Trouble in Little China. But that'd be like my number one. This would be my number two. Both John Carpenter films. Love John Carpenter. Carpenter and Russell together. Perfect. The scene I'm going to play today is that I mentioned earlier. It's the blood test scene. I'm not going to play the whole thing. The clip's like 5 minutes long. I'm just going to kind of jump halfway into it. If you've not seen the thing, this is kind of a good taste. To set up the clip a little bit, there is an alien. They have unearthed the alien. The alien has the ability to basically consume you and then start looking exactly like you. It can talk like you. It can have a conversation just like you. It can totally blend in. It takes a little while to get there, but once it's there, you're screwed. You have absolutely no idea if the person you're talking to is the person you're talking to or the alien in disguise. They figure out a way to kind of test that with this blood test, and that's what the sequence is. There's a room full of, I think, 6 people, might be 5, and they're like, one of us is the goddamn monster. And everyone's like, nope, not me, not me. It's like, all right, we're going to start testing this shit because one of you is. And you get what I think is one of the greatest sequences in any horror film ever, outside of just like genre, like sci-fi, horror, whatever. This is one of the best acted, best written, best performed scenes in the history of cinema. And we're going to watch half of it. I'm just going to shortchange you because, we don't have so much time. But here we go.
I love Kurt Russell.
Yep.
I love just even the little bit, like they're testing it.
I guess you're okay.
And even the people getting tested are like almost nervous. Like,
Put that on and watch them.
am I one? Like when they see the test come out negative, they're like, I'm okay. Which is
Now I'll show you what I already know.
absolutely
Yeah,
phenomenal. Like that's them not even trusting themselves. There's
Well,
McCready. McCready's
Not all movies allow the space to sit there and have things move slowly and give people a chance to try to react believably in that space. Like you can sort of quick snap away, I imagine, from a bad expression, whereas they're sitting on these people.
Oh yeah, and like it's a it's a different era of film, like a filmmaking. Like this reminds me of like going back and like watching like the original Alien before like Cameron ever got involved, and like they're willing to take their time and let things just kind of be uncomfortable. Like it's something we don't do in modern cinema at all. Like we had that movie I kept talking about, Smile 2. I keep bringing it up. That movie is quick. It just snaps. It just goes crazy. And I love it. I had a great time with it. But that's one of my favorite horror movies this year. I'll probably forget about it in a few years. This is one of the greatest films of all time.
Well, yeah, and there's nothing wrong with a quickly paced horror film, and it does its own job.
No.
But this makes you start questioning yourself even. There you go. Oh, man.
And like the stop motion, blood moving, and then this guy like what do we do? What do we do? And everyone's tied next to him. They're all just freaking out, and then you got to try to burn him, but they go, oh god, his face is melting, and I just love all the people tied next to him. It's like, holy shit, get me away from him!
Yeah.
So
man.
And
Such great effects.
Yeah, the effects are a little dated, but it still evokes the same kind of tension and horror. Just the way that they frame things, the way the actors perform it, it's still really strong.
And like even with, you've never seen The Thing?
I've never seen The Thing.
No,
I've heard great things about it, but I guess I've just never had any real occasion to. I guess
You do now. That's your
You
homework.
do now.
Yeah,
I'll tell you.
I'm all for it.
Okay, great. I was about to say, I tell you what, I'll watch Grumpy Cat if you watch this. But you already said you watch it. I'm not going to watch Grumpy Cat.
Well, fine. Now I'm not going to watch The Thing just because of that.
Damn it.
I'm
all.
I'd have waited a couple more seconds.
I will try to watch Grumpy Cat. I mean, I'll watch it with. You know what? I'll watch it with my son. My son will love it. Like that's
he'll like
yeah.
it.
No, I'll watch with him, and then the more he likes a movie, the more I like a movie. So we're good.
I'll probably find the silly parts really funny. So I mean, it's worth it.
I can usually tell how much my son's enjoying a film based on how much he watches the movie. Like, as long as he's not like getting like too fidgety, I'm like, all right, he's digging this one. Granted, we took him to see Wicked last weekend. You would have thought there was an earthquake happening in his chair, like just his chair. The rest of the theater's fine, but he was all over the place. And like, we're maybe like that movie's long. It's 2 hours 40 minutes. It's really, really good. Everyone should see it if you like musicals. If you don't like musicals, just skip it. It's not for you. But if you do, it's great. But we're 2 hours into this 2 hour 40 minute 2 hour and 40 minute movie, and here's my son. Jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle! All the shush. What are you doing?
That if there's one constant in here in LA, other than the earthquakes, it's that kind of thing.
Yeah.
For a youngster to sit through a 2 hour 40 minute movie, it's going to be an earthquake.
Yep.
And an outburst.
Yep. Great. The movie ended. He loved it. He wanted to go back again the next day. So I'm like, okay. We're not going, but I liked it. I don't want to sit for another 2 hour 40. What is this? Avatar? No, if it's not Avatar, I'm not going more than once. If it's Avatar, you got me probably about 5 times. But not Avatar.
What was your favorite part?
I went with you twice.
Sang along.
I was singing the words. They were singing Popular, buddy. Jingle bells. You know what?
Jingle bells.
You nailed it. You sounded just like Ariana Grande.
I'm gonna do like the Silent Night version of that. Popular.
No,
that's Unholy Night. I don't want to hear it again.
I'm good.
This is worse than some of the things that are said on Binge Buddies. That's all.
That was just unpleasant. No.
Oh.
What do you mean? Terrible things aren't said on Binge Buddies ever. That should be a hint for you to go listen to Binge Buddies.
I'm going to say one word: hot tub.
Shit, that was my bad.
Oh my God, I know what you're referring to. I forgot about that. Oh my God.
I'm still kind of proud of it.
Yeah, tracks.
Horrifying visual, but it was I'll give you this much: Binge Buddies, our Tokyo Drift episode. If you want to know what we're talking about, it was a good moment. Anyhow, so we're almost at the end of the year here. We don't usually record too many episodes in December for any of our podcasts, just because we're usually so busy. We have, I hope, 2 more recording sessions for Binge Buddies. It might just be one. I know we have one tomorrow morning in 10 hours, not like 12 hours, not even. But then we have, I'm hoping we'll squeeze one more in before the end of the year. As far as After the Hype goes, I'm hoping to get one more. We'll see how schedules work out, but if we do one more, we want to do a best of 2024. Whatever that means to you is what it's going to mean to you. Hopefully it contains things that happened in 2024. Although if you look at Joel's gaming site, and he asked me to do a best of 2024 gaming, and I listed one game, I think, from 2024 out of all 10. Maybe one, and then 4 of them were the same game. So,
that is becoming closer to what my yearly lists are too. Maybe not one game for 4 different slots, but my favorite game of the year was this thing from 5 years ago that I should have played then, but finally got around to now.
Katana Zero was on my list, and that was on Joel's recommendation. I'm like, well, now it's got to be on here. Katana Zero was awesome, so how does that not make the list?
It's pretty good.
Yeah, thanks to patch 7, I can guarantee you that Baldur's Gate 3 is going to be on this list somewhere.
And
then next year there's patch 8, the last patch. I'm gonna milk this thing for a few years.
I mean, why not? I mean, cards on the table. I started Sekiro again today. I'm already a third of the way through it. I can get through that thing so fast now. It's a real good game. You guys should play it, as I've been telling you for half a year now.
Yeah, you have.
And just like Dune, Joel keeps going like, yeah, I'll do it. Yeah, I'll do it.
Hey, I've got plenty of driving time the next couple of weeks. Yeah. I got my audiobook loaded up. I think we're ready to scratch it off the list.
Yeah, we will. We are going to do it.
I can see how upset you are. Just
yeah, you both sound thrilled. It is a very good book.
I'm so excited to read Dune.
It is a very good book. And Kelly, did Joel tell you my other recommendation for you guys? Much more approachable than Dune, but still sci-fi.
Not yet.
Oh, what is it?
Ender's Game.
That's right.
Ender's Game. Okay.
Phenomenal book written by somebody who is just an absolute bigoted homophobe jackass who writes beautifully gay characters. He's got some internal shit he's got to figure out, and he's a fuckhead. But his book is very good.
Wow.
So
That sounds.
It's a really good book. Really good book.
it's a very good book, and like knowing his bigoted bullshit. There's a moment between the main character Ender and a lie, which is just this absolute beautifully love-filled moment, and it's like, you jackass. Like, I just knowing the guy who wrote this just kind of makes me go like, fuck you. I'm so happy this is in this book, and there's this beautiful moment between two male characters, and knowing who he is, like, you fucked yourself over, you idiot. So I can say all the negative things I want about him. It's still a good book. Very, very good book.
Yeah.
I think you guys would both really like it. And it's no pun intended, nowhere near as dry as Dune. Like that thing, you can fly through it. I read it the first time, I think, in 2 days, and then I just listened to the audiobook, which took me longer because I had to read it that jackass's pace. I read my own one way faster.
When I read it, I read Speaker for the Dead like right after, and
Yeah.
I was like, "Wow, gear change."
I had to put Speaker for the Dead down. Like I had to put that one down. I will pick it back up. I still really liked it, but I wanted more Ender's Game, and it's such a shift.
It is.
I'm like an hour into it, I'm like, where's Ender? No, just.
And then you show, and then it's like, oh, that's Ender.
Oh, that's Ender? Yeah. No, he hasn't shown up yet, is where I put it down. It's just some dude and a bunch of pig people. And I'm like, this is not the same. But it's still
good old sci-fi genre.
good. Gotta love it. At least there's no Duke Leto II turning into a worm. Don't worry, that will not happen in the Dune books you guys read. That happens far later in books I don't recommend. I think it's time for plugs, and we can say goodbye. This show, every show on the ATH network, be sure to check out ATH Pod. The one specifically I'm going to be recommending, there it is, is Binge Buddies. As we were finishing up Nightmare on Elm Street, I just finished the last two films of the franchise today. I think Joel did as well. I'm happy to put it in our rearview mirror, but I will say it has been so much fun talking about it. We haven't had a franchise that we've actually agreed on to this level in a long time. It's just unfortunate that the agreement is that it's shit.
Yeah, you guys deserve commendations for getting through it. Let me just put it that way. I kind of sneak peek at the episodes, and it's just like there hasn't been a joyful face on the thumbnail yet for a while.
Not since 3.
Most of these series, even if I don't love all the movies, I appreciate the experience and understanding. This is the first time where I'm like, am I glad we tried this? Is 1 and 3 worth going through all the other stuff?
I don't know. We'll talk about it when we do our wrap-up episode, because I legitimately don't know. I feel like I could watch 1 and 3 and just quit and been perfectly content going, I like Freddy. Unfortunately, I've seen the rest now, including the remake, which, what the fuck? Listen to our episode in 2 weeks to hear that what the fuck explained. But seriously, what the fuck? But very fun to talk about. That's my very long-winded plug for Binge Buddies. John, what you got?
I have an article out on Super GG Radio.
Yep.
And it's my games for the year. And there was 2 from previous years, and I managed to get 8 from the year, and I feel okay with that. But it ended up being like kind of letting the bunnies out of the bag, so to speak. There was one game that just reigned supreme, and it was Animal Well. And check out the article. I have a lot of mean things to say to the ones I don't like, and high praise for Baldur's Gate 3.
Give us a hint for one you don't like.
Persona 3 Reload, actually. I think that I put that lowest on my list. And if I remember right, I mentioned that it is probably one of the most tedious experiences I've ever had in gaming.
It was also on my list, but in my top 10 list. But I complain about it a lot. Like, it's here because I like Persona and I like Atlas.
Well,
but it wasn't very good.
I caveat it with I actually like the story of Persona 3 Reload and 3. I like that story quite a lot, actually. But by the end, I just wanted to fast forward the gameplay so I could get to the story. Yeah. Because, a quarter through the game, you've experienced every mechanic, and it doesn't change.
Yeah, I believe the quote from my review, which is also on Joel's website, is I like the characters, I like the story, or I love the characters, I love the story, but I would have loved them all the same in a 60-hour game. And I stand by that. But I will say it's better than the DLC. Whew, the DLC, which is also on my top 10 list. So, take that for what you will. Anything for Demon Days coming up?
Still figuring it out. With all this thing, we've been doing like the live streaming stuff. I'm trying to figure out how to get that to work. But I'm very picky, and also all of us are busy, as we get to the end of the year. So I haven't been able to like really communicate with anybody. Cool. So
something to look forward to.
Something to look forward to. The goal is to get it to resume it back up in earnest in 2025 towards the beginning of it. So
great. All right, Joel, Kelly, what you plugging?
Afterthoughts. We of course are working toward June. Of course, yes, that we are without a doubt getting there.
I can't handle the excitement. Please dial it back.
I can hardly wait.
I
it's
am
happening. It's really happening.
Yay.
Spice must flow.
I'll let her borrow my shirt, Brian.
Yeah, I will get there before you do, so I don't want to hear about it. And
you both had like over a year.
Aren't we at like the follow-up stage of this, where we mentioned earlier in a previous recording, I think like months ago, 6 to 8 months ago, where it was like, we'll check in on you on your Dune read through.
Yeah,
I feel like we did.
At least. I mean, we donated to Joel's like Extra Life 2 years ago, 3 years ago to get him to read Dune.
What's that Gandalf quote again?
Which one?
Yeah, what?
There's so many.
I am Gandalf the White. Is that what you're looking for? Did I get it?
Fool of a took. Throw yourself in and rid us of your stupidity.
I regret my lack of specificity.
A wizard is never late.
Yes, that is the thrust of what I was going for.
Nor is he early. Emphasis on early.
I mean, I'm gonna go with you're definitely late at this point.
Look, all I'm saying is that you don't even want us to read it now, because then you don't have a punching bag.
Yeah.
I'm prepping one right now with Ender's Game. Do you not see the inner workings of my brain happening in real time? I'll always have something to punch.
Oh my God, no.
So
any
the
other
Dune
plugs?
follow-up podcast.
I feel like we should just say goodbye.
Yeah.
Bye.
We are no longer on the rails.
What rails?
Christmas rails? I don't know.
Christmas rails? That's a weird Coke thing.
Mm.